Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. WAPA officials are responding to concerns about a lawsuit recently filed in district court by the federal government. The Environmental Protection Agency says they're suing WAPA for emissions violations over a number of years, and the penalties could number in the millions. WAPA officials say they're in talks now with the EPA to resolve the issue. News2's Erica Parsons has that story.
The federal government says WAPA needs to clean up their act literally. The U.S. government filed a complaint on behalf of the Environmental Protection Agency in district court last week against WAPA for violations of the Clean Air Act.
This lawsuit is with respect to past violations of the Federal Clean Air Act at the Estate Richmond generating facilities on St. Croix.
The complaint does in fact cite emissions tests for several units that didn't meet EPA standards going back to 2005 and up to 2011, and the federal government is asking for some hefty fines for the violations, $32,500 a day for violations between March 2004 and January 2009, and $37,500 for each violation after that. But WAPA officials say they're in the process of working it out.
We expect to be able to resolve this matter fully with a negotiated settlement. That would be hopefully in the very near future.
WAPA officials say they have been working diligently to address the problem, and they're making progress.
The authority has made substantial progress in recent months in moving towards the conversion of our power generation from the costly, difficult to control and relatively high emitting fuel oil that we use to liquefied propane gas and ultimately to liquefied natural gas. So we expect that that conversion will not only substantially reduce WAPA's cost for fuel, but it will significantly reduce our air emissions. This process is part of the work that we have been accomplishing diligently with the EPA for the past 2 years to address all of its concerns and to bring the facility into full compliance.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
WAPA officials also said converting the WAPA plants will help to eliminate many of the Clean Air Act requirements cited in the complaint that have plagued them in the past. One of the principal partners of the previously planned Frederiksted Sports Complex is heading to jail. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas. On Wednesday, a federal judge sentenced Fred Yeo to 42 months in a federal prison. Yeo and another developer each pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud for their part in a scheme to defraud a Texas bank on a $39 million loan. Yeo was the chief financial officer of National Swim Center Corp., a company the Virgin Islands government was going to partner with to develop a multi-million-dollar sports facility. Well, due to staffing shortages and budget cuts, the Schneider Regional Medical Center is calling on the community to come out this weekend to help spruce up the hospital, and they need all hands on deck, from cleaning to moving around furniture and contributing supplies. Can you help? News 2's Erica Biffins has details.
Since 1982, the Roy Lester Schneider Hospital has served residents of St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. And now, due to ongoing budget cuts and staffing shortages, they're hoping the community will give a little back to them. This weekend, the Schneider Regional Medical Center is looking for volunteers to help with spring cleaning, and they'll need as many hands to help as possible.
The community has come out so many other times, and this was done some years ago. We haven't done it again for the last 10 years. This hasn't been done, so this is time.
Angela Reynolds Atkinson, the interim CEO and Chief Operating Officer at SRMC, says the leadership and staff at the hospital came up with the idea.
And the idea is that we'll be doing spring cleanup, like you do in your house, freshen things, make things look a little bit brighter and cleaner looking. And we do have our usual services, but in addition to that, sometimes they need a little spruce up, and that's what we are asking the community to come out.
Volunteers are needed this Saturday and Sunday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Areas of cleanup will include the Roy Lester Schneider Hospital primarily, including outside as well as the parking lot.
Already we've had a number of people call to volunteer, and we still need more people to volunteer. There's a lot to be done. And the number of people volunteering and coming will determine on how many areas we can look at.
And they're also looking for volunteers with skills as well as supplies.
You have a skill, painting, if you can do any kind of work, moving things. We're going to be moving, maybe furniture from one place to the next, dusting things. If you have supplies you want to donate to us that we can use for the purpose, then that is something we would entertain as well.
If you can donate some of your time, call 776-8311, extension 2287 or 2262. They're also accepting donations for the cleanup.
Without the community, we wouldn't have this hospital.
For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
The Royal Schneider Hospital also serves about 1.2 million visitors each year. The public is invited to a commemorative ceremony on St. Croix honoring former Governor Leake. Senator Terrence Nelson hosts the remembrance every year, and this year it will be from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Sunday at the King Mausoleum at Kings Hill Cemetery. There will also be a ceremony on St. Thomas as well at the Leake King Airport at 10 a.m. on Sunday. The former governor was born April 17, 1922 and would have been 92 Sunday had he lived. District Governor of District 60B, Lion Claudius Anthony Boncamper, arrived in St. Thomas on Thursday from St. Martin. Several Lions welcomed him at the airport. The purpose of his visit is to audit the Lions and Leo clubs in St. Thomas, and that includes the St. Thomas East End, the Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas Lions clubs, as well as the Leo clubs. The district governor was in St. Thomas all this week. His itinerary plans included meeting with the governor as well as Senate President Sean Michael Malone. Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives on St. Croix have issued a wanted poster for 25-year-old Shaniqua Rivera, who is also known as Nikki. Police say Rivera is armed and dangerous. Rivera has been identified as the person who shot a 20-year-old male victim on April 4th in the Mutual Homes area. Shaniqua Rivera is a St. Croix native, 5'8", and weighs about almost 200 pounds. Anyone coming into contact with her should immediately call police at 712-6037 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. Family members of Julian Venzen are hoping you can help. Julian A. Venzen, known to most people as Junie, he suffers from epilepsy and has not been seen since Wednesday afternoon, according to family members, April 3rd. He may have ventured into the areas of Solberg, Savannah, and Upper or Lower Altona from the Anna's Fancy, where he resides. The two black dogs that were with him returned home today with evidence of prickly substance about their bodies. He's a black male about 5 feet 11 inches in height, weighing 130 pounds. He was wearing a green long pants and polo shirt with blue and white stripes running horizontally. His hair, beard, and mustache are white. If seen, you can notify his brother, Alvin Venzen, and the number to call is 998-7674. Take a look at that picture. A resident in the Upper Solberg area reported on the radio earlier today seeing him in the Upper Solberg area at some point. Tensions are building on the Korean peninsula after North Korea reportedly put missiles into place to strike the South. North Korea is warning embassies, including Russia and Britain, to evacuate staff. Kitty Logan reports from London.
Thousands of North Korean soldiers chanted anti-US slogans and carried a banner calling for full-scale war against America. This one says, "We will mercilessly destroy the US aggressors and the US forces based in South Korea." Russia's foreign minister says North Korean leaders urged his country and others, including Britain, to close its embassies in Pyongyang. North Korea said it cannot ensure the safety of diplomats after April 10th. British officials called the request part of North Korea's rhetoric. Its leader, Kim Jong-un, claims the US is a threat. North Korea has reportedly moved missile launches into place in secret locations on its east coast. That could threaten American bases like Guam, where the US has placed an advanced missile defense system. North Korea does not have diplomatic ties to Washington, and regional experts say there may be no simple way to ease tensions.
If you isolate, the more you back North Korea into a corner, the more they're going to lash out.
US air bases in South Korea are also potential targets for North Korean aggression. But some people living nearby say they're not worried. He says, "We're leading a normal daily life even if North Korea tries to provoke our country." South Korea has deployed missile defence systems on its border to guard against any attacks from the north. Kitty Logan for CBS News, London.
And keeping our eye on the economy, the U.S. economy added just 88,000 jobs in March, the slowest hiring pace in 9 months. Unemployment fell slightly to 7.6%, but the U.S. Labor Department says that's largely due to Americans dropping out of the workforce. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. Everything down. The Dow 40, NASDAQ 21, S&P 6. Coming up on News 2, Carnival events continue this weekend. We'll have all the information you need, the schedule, the village lineup, and the Queen contestants. We'll be right back. On Friday, Governor John P. DeYoung Jr. and First Lady Cecile DeYoung accepted a check from Hal Taylor, CEO and president of Little Switzerland. On behalf of the Little Switzerland and the Breitling Boutique, the check totaled $10,000 and will benefit the First Lady's Literacy Initiative.
Last month, March 8th, we had a party at Catherineburg, which Breitling sponsored, and they had a raffle and raffled off a watch. And these funds, these $10,000 that Breitling has donated, came from that, partly from that, and partly just from Little Switzerland and Breitling. And we are really appreciative of everything that they've done and for their commitment into our community in terms of literacy. And they really understand what literacy means to the Virgin Islands and to the children of the Virgin Islands.
The Family Resource Center is inviting the public to participate in their annual Child Abuse and Sexual Assault March and Rally. That's this Saturday, beginning at 1 p.m. at Holy Family Church. Participants will travel to the Tutu Park Mall. The center provides no-cost services to victims of violence in the St. Thomas, St. John, and Water Island area. Again, that's 1 p.m. Saturday, beginning at Holy Family Church. The YWCA USVI Incorporated invites the general public to its second International Women's Day Luncheon and Silent Auction. That's at Sugar Bay on Sunday at 12:30. Now, there are 4 honorees. I am proud to be listed as one. First Lady Cecile DeYoung will serve as honorary hostess for the luncheon. The event will feature the launch of YWCA USVI's In Her Shoes initiative, a women in business Micro-Enterprise Expo, an exquisite shoes parade, door prizes, music, and entertainment. You can call 626-9804 for more information.
4 distinguished Virgin Island women, Ms. Sandra Gramansi, Ms. Delva Turnbull, Dr. Laverne Ragster, and Ms. Vivian St. Just, all very powerful women in their own right. And we are going to really just show our appreciation as YWCA for the parts that they have pioneered in the Virgin Islands. We became members of a global organization. YWCA has some several million women around the world, and YWCA USVI became one of the organizations.
So how about some comedy this weekend? Stars Nightclub is featuring Pedro Lima and Luke Francis, based out of Florida. Pedro Lima shares his comedic perspective, taking the audience on his journey of marriage, kids, growing up Hispanic. Pedro has toured internationally with the Big Men of Comedy Tour. Scotland native Luke Francis has appeared on networks like The Great Canadian Laugh Off. In 2011, Luke was voted Breakout Artist of the Year by the Los Angeles Comedy Awards and won Best Actor for Films. Now that's tonight at 9 p.m. If you miss out tonight, you can catch the 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. show on Saturday. Well, it's time for our Carnival Corner. We have already crowned a princess. Now this weekend, the Carnival Queen show is set. 5 young ladies are vying for that prestigious title. Now all the nail-biting excitement begins at 8 p.m. Then on Friday, April 12th, it's Brassorama. On Sunday, it's the Calypso Review, some outstanding Calypsonians from home and abroad. On Sunday, it's all about the young ones with the Toddlers Derby at 5 p.m. Then the Best Dressed as a Doll and Traditional Games at 7 p.m. Monday, it's carnival time at the Schneider Regional Medical Center, taking the festivities to those who can't make it out. Patients get a sneak peek of the parade. Now, for those ready to plan ahead, the St. Thomas Carnival Village honoring Sir Frederick Anthony Larson of Chico's Distributing. It opens on April 19th, 6 p.m. at the Fort Christian parking lot. And here's a look at some of the bands lined up for the Village Entertainment on the first night. Now, things kick off with music from Red Lion Sounds, Are We, Pampa, and Sherwin Winchester out of Trinidad. Each night in the Village, there is an interesting theme, including Throwback Sunday, International Cultural Night, and Captain Morgan's Night. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.